So we'd like to welcome everybody to our first live. We don't know how often we're going to do this, but however, we are going to try to do it often. This live is hosted by myself, BRASEnomad, that's BRASE Nomad, and What It Do, DG. What it do, DG?
What it do? But we do have a question if you guys are ready for the next question.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But Mitch, B. Def Vannon says, hello, ladies, on the move right now. Got you playing in the background, so not really able to keep up. So just shouting out real quick.
Hey!
Well, hey, Mitch. We appreciate you for listening to the live and being here.
We do. And I'd like to take this minute to ask, if you are not already following myself and Danette on the YouTube, please go there and follow our journey. Mine is BRASEnomad, that's BRASE, the S is for service, and What It Do, DG. So I'm going to see if I could bring, at this time, I'm going to see if I could bring up Demetrius. Demetrius is another one of our nomadic friends who recently wrote a book. And not only did she write a book, she jumped into entrepreneurship. So we're going to talk to her for a minute and see if she can give us some insight on how that is going. How was it writing her first book? And how is it being entrepreneur and living a nomadic lifestyle? So I don't know if, all right. Oh, I got 4 people on the screen.
Nice.
Hey,
how we doing?
Fine. Look at you, Stone Cold.
Listen. Hopefully this Wi-Fi and this internet don't act up. I don't went outside, put my jacket on. I said, listen, I'm getting on this live one way or the other.
Well, we appreciate your diligence.
You see, I'm back inside, tucked in a little corner, though. It was cold out there.
I see. So, Dee, what I wanted you to discuss with us is, we all been through this season together. Everybody knows that's here on this live still breathing, know what we've been through, what we survived. So let's talk to the people about how during this pandemic and during these times and you being so far away from home because you are a native of Georgia, but you're now in Arizona. You were in New Orleans with us for about 4 months. So how were you able to juggle all those things and write a book?
You know what they say, pressure either bust pipes or create diamonds. And I said, you know what? I'm determined to succeed if nothing else. So in my free time, y'all talk about being bored as a nomad. No, we don't get bored. We just find things to do. My ultimate goal is just to sit home and do nothing. And since I can't win the lottery, I'm like, okay, let me go out here and be an investor, a black female investor, and let me write this here book. So you find stuff to do.
Okay. So tell us about the book. Do you have a copy of the book with you?
I do have a copy of the book. This book, it's called Honest.
Oh, it's just so handy. It was so handy.
Yeah. Listen, I was prepared because I knew he was going to put me in the spot. But I actually wrote this book with one of my male best friends, and it's just a book about relationships from a male perspective. It's talking about how guys go through certain relationships. Some of them are just, the hit it and quit it type. Some of them where they fall in love. Some of them where they just out here doing what men do. But like I said, from a male perspective, because his thing is, we women look at men as dogs and we don't understand because we're not men. So we tried to shed some light on that and how they view relationships and why, as much as you can love a man and you can flip over backwards and fucking twice on Sundays, and I don't know if I can say bad words on this here live, but
you can. This is not for children.
But
you said fuck them twice on Sundays.
Twice on Sundays. You can even, bring some toys and some adventure into the bedroom. But if you ain't the one, you just, it's just not you. It's not you. You ain't it. So therefore, he's not going to commit. He's not going to be faithful. And this book kind of takes you on a journey as to why and what kind of puts them in that mindset. Because they don't start out as dogs. They start out trying to be very good men. And it just don't work out.
When you say start out, you mean in the pubescent or start out?
Yeah,
when
in
they
a pubescent.
Like,
yeah,
when does the start out?
Yeah, kind of like right there at that pubescent stage, because you know, as mothers, we try to raise our sons to be good men. And I have a son; he's 22, and I did my damnedest to raise him to be a good man. But at some point, whether it's outside influence from friends, it could be the dad, it could be the uncles, it could be some family member that's giving them this horrible advice, like, "Oh, you don't need to settle down. You too young. That's puppy love. I need you to go out here and spread your oats." So they get into this mindset of not committing. They get into this mindset of learning how to be a player, learning how to juggle multiple women. And that's what they end up becoming. So in my opinion, they don't even know how to be a good man. They don't know how to maintain a relationship because they've always had that internal juggle, so to speak.
Okay. The book. So where can people get this book? This book is not a male bashing.
No, it's definitely not.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely not
very interesting. So
listen, you might laugh, you might cry, you might be like, this Negro here. It's very interesting. It's definitely not a bashing. It's just trying to understand relationships from a standpoint of a man. And like I said, even speaking on my co-author's behalf, his whole explanation is he had to go through these experiences, even in his own life, basically to learn how to become a better man. And he's even found himself, after writing the book, going back and apologizing and trying to make amends to the women that he hurt.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting.
So
it can be purchased on Amazon.com. It can be purchased on livingourbestdreams.com, or hit me up. Send me a DM. I can get you one in the mail.
Okay. Hold on. Tash, I'm just gonna move you from the screen, put you in the audience. Okay, and invite. Let's see who else we got in here.
Your friend on YouTube. She got real questions. She said, "How long have you been a nomad, and how are you sustaining yourself?"
Oh no, I heard her ask her that, but you can hear her because I can't hear her.
No, did you just?
Can you hear Akila?
We just need you to answer the question. The question has.
Oh, she's asking me that question.
Yes.
No, I'm asking Akila that question.
Yeah, DG is asking Akila that question.
Yeah, we're on IG and we're on YouTube.
I'm gonna need y'all to mess y'all systems next time. Y'all know I'm petty. You know I'm the petty friend.
We got it.
You know
all
I'm
the way ghetto ready.
I'm listen. In your free time, when you sit there bored, I need you to figure out how to mesh those two systems and put them together.
When I am traveling long distances or to a place that I've never been, I will definitely try to get a travel companion, whether we do it in a caravan or someone in my own car. So when you asked about the scariest moment I ever had, I would say the scariest moment that I ever had is the last time I left Denver, Colorado. The last time I brought the bus from West Coast to the East Coast, I actually had a travel companion. And I'm going to shout that person's name out. His name is Britt Brittingham. And Britt Brittingham was in my bus with me, supposed to be my safety, my security, traveling with me from Denver to Florida. I was going to Tampa, and he started acting a fool. So he had to get put out in Mansfield, Missouri. I had to put him out. He had to get out because I started feeling unsafe. I started feeling like I was going to have to him up in that bus. So yeah, I put him out. And I carry weapons, guns, all types of stuff in the bus when I was having the bus. But however, sometimes that fear and unsafety when you're on the road might be with somebody in your own rig. And you might have to really be prepared to be alone. Because being alone sometimes is your best safety. So moving forward, because I have limited time with our next guest. I have a realtor on with us now because a lot of people equate being a nomad and living in your rig as being homeless. And it does not mean that you're homeless. It means that you're houseless. So, like I told you guys, my journey started 4 years ago. And now I have gone from being full-time nomadic without having a stationary home to actually being a homeowner. And my progress or my process was not standard. It wasn't the standard that anybody, like my sister, who's a realtor, who's on here now, and is going to give us some gems. Hey, Sia, the realtor from Remax, going to give us some gems because Demetrius, who's on the line, she just started investing in real estate. She is a real estate investor, and even her journey was not traditional. So it's some people who may be listening or may see this recording and not realize that living in your rig is actually an excellent way to save money and make it to home ownership. Because if you're paying $900 a month, that's $900 a month you saving. Just think that's practically $1,000 for every month that you are able to live full time in your rig. That's money that's going in the piggy bank to get you closer to your destination. As Akila just spoke, she's a full-time professional living out her rig. So just because you live in your rig don't mean you have to be jobless. I'm choosing joblessness. Danette chooses to be an entrepreneur and work her own business and work at her own leisure. Demetrius is an entrepreneur, an author, and a full-time employee. So there is many steps to freedom that you can take, but we're going to let Sia discuss with us how realistic is home ownership.
Good afternoon, everybody. I just want to piggyback on something Tina mentioned. So when she first came up with the idea that she was going to live on her bus and she would hit the road, as a family member who loves her dearly, it was very, very scary. Dee is a really good friend of Tina's, and I stalk their locations and all the time. It gives me ease to know that I can pick up my phone and see where they are, where they're traveling to, and that sometimes they're together in the same states. One day, Tina called and was like, "Oh, I bought land in Florida. I bought land in North Carolina. I did this, I did that." And I was like, well, why are you doing that? I'm a realtor. In my mind, I'm thinking it's great investments. It's the best way to invest in her future, in her family's future, is to own land. And then one day she called and said, "I'm gonna get a house built." And I'm thinking, well, why would you do that? You got the bus, you got the truck, the car, you living the life. So we discussed nomads and homelessness. And being a nomad does not mean you're homeless. It means you choose to have the freedom to live your life on your own terms, travel, see the world, meet people from all walks of life. And my mind is a little, I'm thinking, that's a great opportunity for our people to invest. When you go into a state that you love and you think about your future settling down, buy land. Get yourself a land. It don't have to be 40 acres and a mule. You can buy 1 acre and put you a she shed on it. And then when you on the road, you rent your she shed out. Airbnb is a big, big, big thing. People think it's so much work into owning a property or maintaining the land. It's not as hard as you think. Owning a house is not as hard as you think. Acquiring land is not as hard as you think. Most people don't know that you can purchase a home with a 580 credit score. 580.
What? Shut up.
What? Shut up.
A 580 credit score will purchase you a home.
I'm glad I didn't know that.
Well, I have credit repair help too. If that's an option, I know how to get you some credit repair. But
the question. This is my question to you about credit repair, Sia, because that is something that really angers me, because a lot of people think that you have to hire somebody or you have to pay a lot of money to get the credit repair and it's not guaranteed. Is that something that you have to get someone assistance with, or is that something you just have to educate yourself?
Educate yourself, and it's work when you do it on your own. Somebody like me who is not going to sit at the computer, all day, run to the post office all the time, because you have to dispute the things and mail it back, and you have to constantly be on top of it. I let mail sit for months before I open it. Well,
At least you're honest.
so you have to send those letters back. So it's when if you're a person like myself who's not going to be dedicated to the achievement of doing it on your own, then I recommend you go with somebody that you can trust that does it. It is, you can do it yourself. I mean, there's so many YouTube videos. There's like classes that you can take that will tell you how to repair your credit without going through a credit repair company. But people like myself don't want to do the work. That's not my area of expertise.
Okay, but you do have someone that you is reliable, because I personally know several people who have paid
And not get the results.
companies or organizations.
And not get the results. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
and not get the results.
I mean, it is a thing where I think you do have to trust a person, talk to them on the phone, get to know them on a personal level. I wouldn't say go to a big major company that the bank sent you to, because then you're just a number and a name. What I like to offer people as a realtor is personalization, personal service. I want to know about you. I want to know what your dreams are. I want to know why you want to buy this house and why you chose this place.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I want to break. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So I see that you take a very personal and hands-on approach. But my question to you is, like DG just stated, she didn't know that she could buy a home with her credit score in the 500. But what is like a minimum situation that you think of? At what point? I'm not gonna say a minimum situation. At what point do you think someone should contact a realtor or contact her to repair, or start taking the steps? Like, do they have to wait till they have $10,000? Do they have to wait till their credit score is 600? Like, where is the starting point?
The starting point is finding a lender, letting them give you a clear view of where you are and where you need to be. The lender, you could shop around. Like you want to go buy a car, or you go on a vacation, or whatever you do, you shop around. With a lender, you are obligated to shop around. In my opinion, shop around. You got 7 days from the first attempt to get your credit ran to search other lenders. If there is one lender who will do it and another lender who won't. I have a lender who won't approve somebody with 600. Their minimum is 620 because they don't want the liability. But I also have lenders who says send me a file. We'll get them approved. I have a client who makes really, really, really good money, but her credit score does not meet the 600 or 620, and we're gonna keep her on ice. We're gonna help her get where we need her to be, so she was not getting taken advantage of by high interest rates because of her credit score. Because of her low credit score, they don't offer you the programs. It's so much free money in real estate, you wouldn't believe it. You can buy a house with zero money down for some programs. A USD loan allows you to buy a house in a rural area with no money down. You pay for your inspection and you pay for appraisal and other things like that, but you don't need $15,000 to buy a house.
What? And so this is another question that somebody is echoing. I don't know who it is. I think it might be Danette. So this is another question that I have. People are often confused when we use terms like city, urban, agriculture, rural. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Nothing. The government will want you to believe that rural means you have to live in the country. But here in Delaware, I don't think I live in a rural area, but where I live, you qualify for the USADA loan. I mean, I got an Acme, I got a Food Lion, we got Dunkin' Donuts, a Chick-fil-A.
Hold on, do y'all got a Chick-fil-A?
We do. A Starbucks.
So do y'all have a Starbucks?
Yeah.
Because the last time I was at your home, and in the rural area where you live at, y'all had a Dunkin' Donuts.
We got Starbucks. I just can't afford Starbucks yet because y'all not buying enough houses.
Yeah, well, Starbucks is the fact that you got a Starbucks pallet now. Because I remember one point in time you have a Starbucks pallet. See, when people become relatives, they get a Starbucks pallet. And when they become relatives, she was a dollar McDonald's coffee girl. Now she got a Starbucks pallet.
You are correct. But homeownership for our people. When I say our people, you know what I mean. So
POCs, people of color, and that's any color.
Told by our parents, our grandparents, to go out and get educated, get an education so you can buy you a home. Because I couldn't. And in your mind, you think that you got to have these high achievements in life to purchase a home. when you don't. You can work for $15 an hour and own your home.
What?
Yes, you can make $15 an hour.
Because I just was having a conversation with somebody who felt like they didn't make enough money to buy a house, and I told them,
So,
if you make enough money to pay rent, you make enough money to buy a house.
exactly, because why pay you?
Because you're literally paying somebody's
You
mortgage.
are paying a mortgage, just not your own.
Just not your own.
You paying a mortgage. And you paying that mortgage allows your landlord to have the hopes and dreams that you got for your family in their future. See, because you paying his mortgage at $1,200 a month, his mortgage may be $800. You paying him $1,200. He's taking his difference and he's taking his family to Disney.
And this is something else that people always speak about, and I want to just debunk it while we're here. And I think everybody who's on can speak on it. I hear people always say, I just want to let you know your hair is popping too. What's that called? A silk press? What you got going on? But anyway, I want to debunk. People always say about maintenance. That's always, I can't afford the maintenance. I can't afford the maintenance. How long does a roof last here?
30 years.
A roof lasts 30 years. Okay. How long does a furnace last?
A furnace can last you almost 5 years.
5 years. How much does a furnace cost?
Okay, wait, that was a water heater that we replaced, right?
That was a water. Yeah, the water heater was cheap. So we got to. Let me tell you something. When the water heater broke down, we went and bought a new water heater. I think we just walked in there and bought a water heater for like $200-$300. Our neighbor put it in for free with like 3 tools. It didn't even take a lot of tools. People think you got to be a plumber or have all these major skills to do stuff. No, you just got to have a little bit of know-how. Just a little bit of know-how. And I always say closed mouths don't get fed.
I was going to say that.
Like some things you can use your community.
They hide. There's programs to get your roof fixed.
There is programs out there for that.
If you're in a situation, you got to search the resources. You know, people don't reach back into their community. Like she said, the neighbor, he refused payment. I had to buy McDonald's gift cards and eBay gift cards to give him a form of payment because he's a good neighbor. You never know until you ask or until you say who's going to be able to help you. You might got an uncle that's a plumber, but not by trade. He just know how to fix some stuff. Don't get caught up in fear of what's going to happen. Because what landlords can do to you is put their house on for sale on the market and then tell you got 60 days to go. Because they're selling the property now. And then you're in a situation where you're scrambling, you don't know what to do. You can't. There's no houses for rent. And if you do find a house for rent that you like, you pay $1,500 a month. Purchasing a home is not just somewhere for you to live. It's an investment. You don't have to stay in a home forever. There's so many programs that offer so much to people, but we don't know because we don't ask. The fear of, I don't want nobody to know my credit score 580. Let me debut that for you too. When you go see your lender, your personal information between you and your lender. All your realtor will know is the amount of money you approve and to take you out and find houses. Your social security number is private to you and your lender. Your date of birth is private to you and your lender. Your sexual orientation is private to you and your lender. They can't even ask them. I'm just saying if that come up. But there's so many things that people fear that, I don't want her to know. Especially people with color don't want other people with color in their business, per se.
Okay, so this we had a question that came up in the chat that said that you could be scared of the responsibility. But this is the thing. Every day we're responsible. When we get in the car and start that car up, not only are we responsible for our lives, but the lives of everybody else on the road. I work in the prison system, and I have encountered so many people during prison time for car accidents because they did not take that responsibility seriously. When we go to our jobs, working with chemicals or different things that different people may do, that is a responsibility. And you can go to jail if you don't take that responsibility serious. I know travel agents who stole clients' information and stuff and now are in jail. Why? Because they had a responsibility that they did not take serious. So when you look at buying a house, you have to look at that house buying situation with the same level of responsibility that you would look at any other task in your life. It's just something which I have to be responsible for. But it doesn't have to be a burden. And that's where I'm going to close out with Sia. You don't have to make your home buying a burden. You have to do what is comfortable for you.
Yeah, because you don't have
what's right for you.
House because you can afford it. We have a client right now, an NFL player, who can afford a whole bunch of house, but he's conscious about his future and his children's future. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get me a $400,000 house because that's what I can afford without thinking about it.
Exactly.
But
so you always want to make sure that you're.
It does not have to be
responsible
forever home. You can buy a house and rent it to somebody else. You could be the landlord.
But that's another set of responsibilities that you have to be willing. Oh, baby.
What is the goal? What is our goal?
Yeah.
We have to have the same goals as they have. And we're scared of responsibility. I mean, when you lay down and have sex with somebody, it's a high possibility that you're responsible for a person that may come of that until you die.
Yeah.
You don't look at that same way you look at purchasing a home, and you should.
Yeah.
Because sneakers cost, diapers cost, milk cost. Well, I want to get my door painted. It's a responsibility. I want to keep my house up. Let me the dirty neighbor on the lot, so I got to do things to keep my house up. The same responsibility you take in everything in life. Every course you take has some responsibility to you, but it's resources. It's a village to raise children. It's a village to be a homeowner. You use your neighbors. You use your people at church. You tell them what you're trying to accomplish and your goals. They will help you.
So, Sia, we're going to let you go, okay. But where can they reach you?
My email is Sia, CIA, at home, HOME, 21 at gmail.com. My telephone number is 215-678-4867. 215-678-4867. Again, my name is Sia Ross of Remax Associates. I'm Deborah Harris Group. We will take care of all your needs in Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. We appreciate you spending some time with us today and giving us that information.
Nice day, ladies.
You too. Bye. And I always say I'm going to be quick, and I be long-winded. I be so long-winded. That took me like 4 minutes to say goodbye. And my phone is saying 10% battery. You ain't got to want to leave, but you about to get up out of here. So thank you guys for buckling in and taking the ride. Be safe. Love you guys. Bye.